everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Elevate with C&M Coaching. My name's Maggie, and thank you so much for joining us here today. We are going to be going over our call of the week, and today we have a service call. This one's a real treat. I can't wait to share this one with you, so let's check it out.
Department, can I help you?
So the very first thing I would point out is that her voice inflection is very poor. It almost sounds a little bit like she's mumbling. She's not speaking very clearly. The greeting certainly isn't like, wow, I'm ready to help. It would have been better off if she would have said, thank you for calling ABC Motors. This is Maggie in service. How can I help you today? With a smile in her voice. So not off to a super great start.
Yes. Did y'all do front end alignment?
Do what now?
Did you do front end alignment?
Yes, ma'am.
So the customer's asking if she does front end alignments, and she seemed really confused there at first. Usually if someone says something and I don't hear them, instead of saying, do what now, I will say, I apologize. Could you please repeat that? Which is just a little bit more friendly than do what now?
I'm sorry?
Yes, ma'am.
You did? Okay. How much you charge for the front end alignment? And do you have to make an appointment?
You have to make an appointment. They will have to get it in here and diagnose it, but I do not know how the price is.
So what I would have done instead here is I probably would have said, let me get all that information for you. First, let me go ahead and pull up your account. What's the phone number listed on your account? Excellent. What's your last name? Thanks. And your first name is? Perfect. What is your current address, please? And get the customer to verify their current address. Make sure you have all that information up to date. Verify the vehicle and the mileage if necessary. Then I would say we can absolutely go ahead and get you scheduled for an alignment. It does take approximately X amount of hours. What we can do is get the vehicle in here for a diagnosis. And then once we have that diagnosis, we'll be able to perform the alignment for you. Just explain the process to the customer. She's asking you, how does this work? We work at the store, so we should be providing details to that customer. We should be able to explain these things to them.
Okay. All righty. I guess I'll just come by and let them look at me. Thank
Make
you.
an appointment. Okay.
So how about asking the customer, so let's go ahead and get you scheduled for that appointment. Now I've got openings on day 1 or day 2, which works best for you. We didn't even ask her if she wanted to come in. There was no appointment offered to this person at all. Not only that, but we didn't even verify any of her information. No first name, no last name, no phone number, no address. This is the perfect opportunity to make sure that you have accurate, up-to-date information on the customers. This is the perfect opportunity to offer them an appointment so that we can have eyes on the vehicle to make sure that everything is functioning properly. You certainly don't want someone out on the road in one of your vehicles that they're supposed to be making payments on when the vehicle is in disrepair. So we need to get the vehicle in. We should be making a more conscious effort when we're on the phone with these customers to try to help them understand the importance of service. That was definitely not conveyed in this particular phone call, especially when you take into consideration that she didn't even ask her for her name or even attempt to offer her an appointment. The reason that we have service advisors that answer the phone and answer customers' questions is so that they can drive them towards an appointment and bring them in. That's how service departments make their money. Even if the vehicle is under warranty, it's still the opportunity for you to get the vehicle fixed and repaired to help ensure the customer continues to make their payments on time. If people start running into issues with their car not performing or functioning properly, what's the first thing that they do? They stop making payments. So we need synergy here. We need all departments to be working together to make sure we have as much information that's accurate and up to date as possible, and that when we do get that customer on the phone and they're asking questions about service, that we provide them with information. Now you'll notice the one thing that I felt like was happening in this call, and hopefully you noticed it as well, is that the customer was controlling the conversation. The rep just sort of sat there, didn't really have any responses, didn't carry the call, just let the customer ask the questions, and then very vaguely provided short, quick answers. So I am a little bit disappointed in the level of customer service from this particular rep, and I do hope that over time as we work with this person more that they improve. But my biggest concern is what perception the customer now has of this service department based on the call quality that she just experienced. So let's just talk for a little bit about what we normally recommend doing in service calls. Obviously, you want to have a full and complete greeting. Her greeting was complete, but it was definitely missing voice inflection. It was specifically lacking that smile and that I can help attitude. We did not hear that at the beginning of the call. Once we have that, then of course we're going to listen to the customer's concerns. We're probably going to ask them a series of questions. Maybe what makes you think that your vehicle needs an alignment? Is it pulling in one direction versus the other? When did you notice the problem starting? Make sure you verify their contact information, where they live, their email address, any method of communication, and then also the vehicle. Then from there, let's go ahead and get you scheduled in for that appointment so we can take a look at the vehicle and see if we can do an alignment on it. I've got openings on day 1 or day 2, which works best. Then from there, I have time A or time B, or if your dealership only does drop-offs, explain that to the customer. Once we've done that, then we're going to go ahead and recap our location, make sure the customer knows exactly where they're going. Especially if you're working at a dealership that has multiple lots but only one service center, or if you have multiple lots, you just want to make sure they're going to the right place that you're scheduling them at. Explain any drop-off procedures, any parking procedures, any information the customer might need to have a successful service visit. If you listen back to one of the first podcasts I did, I talk about a service experience that I had that was less than stellar. And I like to use that in my teachings because it's a personal experience that I had that I will never forget about that service department. So when you have someone coming in for a service, make sure you tell them where to park their vehicle or where to drop it off, or if you have doors that automatically open, explain that to the customer too so they know what they're doing and where they're going. If you are a dealership that does not quote prices over the phone, it's okay to tell the customer, unfortunately, until the vehicle has been through a full diagnosis, I will not be able to quote you a price. But rest assured, when we do get the vehicle here and we have taken a look at it, we'll give you a call and we'll discuss all of your options with you. That way the customer knows what to expect. Nobody wants to just drop off a vehicle not knowing what it might cost, so we should give them some basic information in this initial questioning phone call. Once we finish that phone call, then we should hang up and send the customer a text message with the appointment details confirming the location and the appointment day and time, along with any drop-off procedures. If you work at a dealership where you can give them an estimate as to how long it might take for us to repair the vehicle or diagnose the vehicle, that's also information I would include, just so the customer feels super prepared. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this service call of the week and can implement some of these tips in your own service departments, especially if you're an independent or buy here, pay here dealer. A lot of these tips are going to be really helpful for you in the service industry. I will be back next week with another hot topic. Have a great rest of your day and an awesome weekend. And once again, thank you so much for joining us here at Elevate with C&M Coaching. Remember to share this podcast with your friends if you feel like you're learning something, or share it with your coworkers, or if you're a manager, share it with your team so that they can get free advice on call tips every single week. Have a great day.